Red Bull Pump Track World Championship is one of the most accessible cycling events in the world, and no one represents that more so than Mark Ducat. After winning the Scottish qualifier and his ticket to the World Final in 2018, we caught up with him 1 year on.
Going to put subtitles on this? No. A lot of people don't understand. Like, even though I speak English, it's like, is he? We are at Cathkinbrae's pump track where the UK qualifier was last year, where things started to go right for me. There was quite a few like fast English racers and just didn't want to let an English person win on like Glasgow turf, so I was like, let's have it. Since the World Final I've been lucky enough to be sponsored by Velo Solutions. It's given me more opportunity to ride my bike, which is in the end what I want to be doing.
After spending some time with Mark in Cathkinbrae's at the Velo Solutions pump track, he took us on a tour of his local community to show us where it all started for him.
I'm out at where I learned to ride a bike. My dad walked to the top of this hill with me and sat me on the bike and went, go. Kind of just went into all the bushes at the bottom. We are at Riverside Museum, the new transport museum. It's the council's like put in some new sort of street spots for like skateboarders and BMX.
It soon became apparent that few locations had the same impact on Mark's riding as one place in particular.
Unit 23, skate park where I kind of learned everything, and it's indoors, so Scottish weather doesn't really allow you to ride outdoors all the time.
Mark's story is just one that has helped to inspire the Glasgow Sea. The impact of riding in the local community has helped reshape attitudes to cycling.
So this is Craigneuk, which is pretty much an atypical Scottish council estate.
Neil Morrison and the non-profit organisation Social Track are at the heart of this progress.
It was a case of trying to work in the community to get the people who are less obvious to the system and give them something, a little bit of hope, a little bit of a goal. So whether that's learning a 360 on a bike or pumping around the pump track on a skateboard, it gives them a goal that they've achieved and then they apply that to the rest of their life. This used to be a stables, then it became a car garage. It's very rough and ready at the minute. New deliveries of bikes, some for the pump track and some for the active travel hubs. So the Lapierres are for just getting normal people to ride bikes and have a bit of fun. BMXs are to get the kids out and have fun. To go with the Lapierres, we've also got bikes for people with disabilities, so trikes, adaptive bikes, so we're going to have way more for everybody because there's no point in trying to be exclusive when you can be inclusive to everyone. Basically being at the skate park, you have a session going on, people get beyond what they could do. You know, you get that kid who lands his first 360, somebody knocks a flare out, and everybody's hyped and everybody's excited. You get like some sports, like perhaps football, where it's all argumentative, all combative, whereas in the bike riding scene we found everybody gets behind each other. Nobody gets sort of caught up in the nationality or ethnicity, so to speak of. It's high five, fist bumps, and if we could get more people doing that, that's my main motivation. Just get people stoked.
The Wishaw Hill Velo Solutions pump track is the embodiment of social track's work in Glasgow. Since opening in 2018, it has had a significant impact on lowering crime rates, and in 2019 it hosted the UK qualifier for the Red Bull Pump Track World Championship.
Since the pump track's been here, the social impact has been massive. Now families have a place where they feel safe that they can bring their children to ride bikes. Social track's main involvement is coaching and bike hire. So children that don't have a bike are able to actually get a bike to ride. The local police, the local council, the local fire brigade, they're saying that antisocial crime is down 55%. Last year, Mark Ducat winning the UK qualifier through in Glasgow was a real positive and a real role model for a lot of young riders. The fact that Mark was relatively unknown, the fact that he had the same accent as them, they could relate to him. He wasn't a guy from California or somewhere like that. All of a sudden the penny clicks, you know, that's something I could do. What's even better is that some of them look at him and go, I'm faster than that. So there's already people who feel that they can really grow in potential and actually compete on a world stage.
With the Red Bull Pump Track World Championship coming to Wishaw Hill, the locals were ready to welcome the rest of the UK and show them what they are made of.
The first time I rode a pump track was probably just a month or so before the UK qualifier last year. Pretty much I tore all the ligaments in my shoulder and I was just using it as rehab. And then, yeah, just sort of took off from there.
In the women's field, all eyes were on Dasha Polikova. As a former Olympic BMX racer from Slovakia, she was first introduced to cycling through a similar initiative to Social Track. After injury, she has returned to coaching the local riders as a part of the 360 Club in Glasgow. It was evident early on that the racer in her was still alive and that she had her eyes set firmly on the ticket to the world final in Switzerland.
I was pretty much next to my house. There was a local track, and I was about 11, and I started watching, obviously, people riding on bikes and practicing and racing, and so really wanted to get into it. Couldn't afford a bike, so pretty much very similar setup as guys out here doing with the 360 Club.
Pump tracks are good for all ages. Like, it kind of teaches you the fundamentals of, in a sense, skate park etiquette. Just like how to drop in, when to go in, when not to snake. Just kind of teaches you the basics of how to ride in a good environment.
So the local kids can be a bit challenging, but that's obviously, you know, what I'm trying to achieve as well. You know, to get those kids, you know, to give them maybe a little different interest and point of view, and usually those that are the biggest troublemakers, they're the most talented.
After battling it out in the knockout heats, the top 4 men and top 4 women were ready to lay it all on the line for that all-important ticket to the Red Bull Pump Track World Championship final in Bern, Switzerland. It was now time to find out who will take that all-important win here in Glasgow.
Put your hands together for Dagmara Polakova!
Put your hands together with an incredible time of 23.1 seconds, 1.8 seconds faster than the rest. He is the best! Mark Ducat!
Super cool that Mark Ducat made it again to the final in Switzerland this time, but this time he was on a 26-inch bike, while last year he actually won on a BMX. What's even more cool is that the local community really came out.
I was hoping that I'm going to win it, but obviously you never know till actually get a win. But yeah, it was great fun.
There's a lot more pressure going into this year's race. Everyone else smashed it as well. Pete was going really quick, and then because we didn't know the times, until they announced it, I was like, oh, I'm just buzzing.
With 25 qualifier events around the world, the Red Bull Pump Track World Championship, alongside Pump for Peace and community initiatives like Social Track, has seen first-hand the impact of cycling. The World Final will be the ultimate showdown of riders from around the globe in Bern, Switzerland on the 19th of October. Who will take the 2019 title is unknown, but one thing is for sure: pump tracks are changing lives.